back, man, with another little usual, you know what I'm saying? You know, um, I just wanted to do this real quick, man. Yeah, so, y'all know, man, the Warriors just played the Philadelphia 76ers, and they lost. Wasn't a good showing. And first game of the road trip. But Snax on Sports, man. We back on. I'm back. I'm back with another usual, man. I just wanted to do this because um, I just wanted to say to my guy, man, my nigga Steph, you know, who's my favorite player, and I give him a lot of love and adulation as is much warranted. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, he's the best player in the world. But he hasn't been playing well as of late. I want to say, the last couple weeks, ever since that first Phoenix Suns game. Um, yeah, man, I don't know what the fuck that shit was about. My bad. I don't know what the hell that shit was about. But anyway, I forgot what the fuck I was saying, man. I know what I'm talking about. I forgot exactly where I was at. But anyway, ever since that first Phoenix Suns game, because we played them, back to back. We lost the first one and then won the second one. But the game before the Phoenix Suns game, the first time we played them was against the Clippers. That was the game where he gave the refs a tech for giving him a tech. You know what I'm saying? Like, that nigga went off. But ever since that game, and that next game was the Phoenix Suns, and he went 4 for 21 or some shit. They had a good game plan for him. And then he bounced back that next game and played well, but it wasn't. He didn't have to like go off or nothing like that, but he did play well. The shooting numbers was still a little bit below his normal shoot numbers, but he bounced back the second game against Phoenix and played well. And we won and beat him at home. But ever since then, we've been winning. You know what I mean? I'd probably say we lost to the Suns, beat the Suns, lost to the Spurs, which was the back-to-back right after we had beat the Suns. So that was kind of like an emotional letdown game. You know what I'm saying? Well, they just wasn't ready to play that game. But they lost, so that's all that mattered. And then that next game that we played was Wednesday night, I believe. We played. I forgot who we played, but we won. I can't remember if we played 2 games since we lost to the Spurs or 1 game, but if it's 2 games, we won both of them. If it's 1 game, we just won that one because we hadn't lost since then, since we lost to the Spurs. But so we like what 3-2. You know what I mean? Our last 5 games or whatever now. You know what I mean? 2-2 in our last 4. It's whatever. We 21-5. You know what I mean? I'm nitpicking here. You know what I mean? But the one thing that is sticking out is that Steph ain't playing well right now. He's not shooting well. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's been like this for the past week and a half. almost 2 weeks now. And I just want to say, Steph, you got to play better, brother. Period, point blank. Now, you have 15 points in the first half tonight, and then just no-showed in the second half. You had 3 points. Like, my thing is, as much praise as I give you, you know, you can't keep letting me, like, I understand, you know what I mean, you know, a lot of times within the game, you know what I mean, Steph plays within the system, and you know, a lot of times, you know, lets the game come to him and is not forcing it as he should. But sometimes, man, like, it's time to when you that nigga, you know what I mean, it's time to put your foot down and kind of let it be known that you that nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's a lot of times, a lot of players in the past, you know, great players, you know, they let their other teammates get involved. And that's just how our team is. That's how the Warriors is. We just, everybody gonna touch the ball. That's just the way the offense is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm starting to see a little bit of a pattern here now ever since, because these leagues is copycat leagues. So, you know, they put Mikal Bridges, who's a, you know, tall, lanky, you know, agile, you know, defender on Steph. And not saying that he stopped him or anything like that, but it bothered him, you know, him collectively along with the rest of the team and their team defense. That's basically what Philadelphia did tonight with Thibault Matisse. You know, another, you know, long, lanky, tall defender, you know, that's taller than Steph, you know what I mean, and just as quick as Steph, you know what I mean. But my thing is, it's like, at a certain point, Steph, you gotta do you. You can't be letting these motherfuckers, like, just so-called, you know, stop you and lock you up like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's one thing like a game or two, but, you know, this, like I said, we going on like 2 weeks now, to where not every team has had like that type of player that you could put on, but it's still been, like, you know, he still hasn't shot well, and he's, you know, he's still, now I know at the same time, the 3-point record is getting ready to fall. You know what I mean? He's getting ready to break that. And I do believe that once he finally breaks it, that is, you know, it's gonna kind of get back to normal a little bit, because right now what's going on is every team we play is making it a point to, oh, he ain't finna break it on us. He ain't finna break the record on us. So they're keying in on him right now more than even they already keying on him. Like, to where y'all niggas remember last year, it was 3, 4, sometimes 5 players on this nigga at one time. Teams can't do that as much this year because of our role players. Everybody else is shooting the ball well. Now tonight, we could have got a little bit more help, you know, from, but Jordan Poole done his thing. Andrew Wiggins done his thing for like the first 3 quarters, you know what I mean? But then after that, you know, but, you know, outside of that, you know, it wasn't, you know, the shooting touch wasn't there tonight. But I'm just saying, man, that this video is about Steph and how I feel like tonight, you know, is a game I got to put on Steph, just because I don't feel like he showed up in the second half. You know what I'm saying? Even though, yeah, some of the role players could have, you know, stepped up and did, you know, a little something here or there, made a few more shots or whatnot. I mean, my nigga, I mean, the game was right there to be had. Eventually, we need our superstar MVP player to play like an MVP. And now y'all niggas might say, man, this nigga been balling the whole year, blah, blah, blah. Nigga, you tripping, man. You going a little, you know, a little dry spell for a little while, nigga. You just, nah. I'm not ultimately worried about the nigga, nothing like that. I'm just saying, it's 1 or 2 games. You know what I mean? Okay. But, I'm thinking back on, like I said, I'm not saying, but Steph ain't no damn Jordan. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody Jordan. But I'm still thinking back on, like, great players don't have these week, 2 week spells where they just, now him as a shooter, okay, it may be a little bit different because, yeah, you can go on a little drought for, like he's went on a drought before. You know what I mean? So it's not nothing that's. And I know, like I said, once the 3-point record come down, I feel like that'll ease the that'll just make it to where now he can just get back to just playing. And he is playing. Like the last game, I could tell, he was trying to like shoot a lot of threes, and he was kind of forcing it a little bit, mainly probably because it was kind of within reach, even though 16 threes is a lot of threes. But I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that Steph Curry could do something like that. But it was mainly because it was the last home game of the like we was getting ready to go on the road. And Steph would, prefer to do something like that at home in front of the home crowd, in front of the Golden State Warriors fans. So I think he was just trying to do something special that night. Didn't happen. He ended up hitting 6 threes. He made 6 out of 17. But, and then tonight against Philly, he wasn't forcing it. But I kind of think he was playing a little bit too much within the system as far as like letting it come to him. Like, you know what I mean? Like to where he went the total opposite direction. You know what I'm saying? And they played good defense on him. But I'm just saying, man, even if you're not shooting it well, now I think part of that was probably because in the third quarter, they did make a run and we ended up getting up by 13 in the game. And that whole run, Steph didn't score nothing. So he probably maybe was thinking, okay, I'm going to just continue to, do what I do, facilitate for right now because the team is rolling right now and we up. I don't need to do a whole bunch. But then once they start making their little run and coming back, all right, now it's time for, now at the same time when they did make their run to start to come back at the end of the third quarter, Steph was out of the game. So, but still, all in all, man, he didn't make a basket until like late, like in the middle of the fourth quarter. That was like his first basket of the second half. It's like that type of stuff just can't happen, man. You can't be going that long. Like once the team starts to go on the drought, you know what I mean? Because that's what it was. They was the reason why Philadelphia was able to come back is because we got stuck on 78 they had scored one basket in like 4 minutes. So sometimes shit like that may happen, man. But at the end of the day, I basically said, hey, Steph, I get, I'm gonna give my nigga a lot of praise. So I gotta give my nigga the criticism when he don't play well. You know what I'm saying? Like go down swinging, bro. Go down fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like I know it's just a regular season. Like I said, we 21-5. I know it's just a early regular season game. First game of the road trip. But I'm hard on Steph as far as my expectations of him because of, for one, how great of a player he is, what he's shown us throughout the years, and I just want to see him. I just want to see him play well, and like I said, all the praise that I give him, I gotta give him criticism when he don't play well. So. And the only thing with right now is that I feel like it's starting to go on for a little bit too long now. Like throughout the last 5 or 6 games, yeah, he's had a 30-point game and shit like that. But I'm saying he haven't been as efficient as he usually is. Since that first Suns game, these last 5 or 6 games. And what I'm saying is, all teams gonna start to try to do now is let's get a big, tall, lanky, defender, a wing and put on him somebody long You know what I mean? Similar to like a Scottie Pippen or some shit like that. And that's what I had always been saying because like I said, the Warriors my favorite team. But at the same time, I grew up uh, I grew up in the '90s era, and you know what I mean, watching as a kid watching the Bulls. So I seen those teams, and you know the whole thing when the Warriors became what they became, it became a dynasty. And then once we got Kevin Durant, the whole thing about the Warriors versus the Bulls, and what team would win, the '96 Bulls versus the 2017 Warriors or whatever, the 2018 Warriors or whatever. I always said I'm taking the Bulls. I love Steph Curry. Steph Curry is more of a favorite player. Michael Jordan is one of my all-time favorite players, but Steph Curry ranks higher. You know what I mean? Because when I was a kid, everybody liked Jordan. So it wasn't. So everybody had like another favorite player. Because who didn't like Jordan? Everybody fucked with Jordan. It was motherfucking Michael Jordan. So I grew up with him as a favorite player, but as like a default favorite player. You know what I mean? And I had other players as like my true favorite players. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I watched those teams, nigga, especially that second 3P when you got when you got on the perimeter, you got Michael Jordan. I'm just talking about defensively now. I'm not even talking about offense. Michael Jordan, Ron Harper, and Scottie Pippen. I'm like, bro, and this is what I'm saying. This is what I always was telling niggas. I've seen Steph at times in certain moments in certain games be able to get locked up at times. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen, more than it does, or like it's not he's going to get locked up less than he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, in a series, when you play it up against a team like that, like the Chicago Bulls, man, I don't think motherfuckers is really understanding. Y'all just, even some of my fellow Warriors fans, they just looking at the shooting. Oh, they would have shot them out. Man, would like Clay for one, Clay ain't no put the ball on the floor type of player. He's become better at it, as his career has gone on. But that ain't really been his strong suit. He's a defender, and he's a shooter, a catch and shoot. You know what I mean? He a killer in that sense. You know what I'm saying? So that nigga try to put the ball on the floor, they gonna take it from him. You feel me? Ron Harper or Michael Jordan, Steph. He have a hard time bringing the ball up the court. They're going to be on him from the time he inbounds the ball, from the time he get the ball inbounded. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that to say, fast forward to now, and you look at Mikal Bridges. He has the makeup and the build of like a Scottie Pippen. You know what I mean? Same with Thibault Matisse, who played for the Philadelphia 76ers, who we played tonight. You know what I mean? It's the same kind of build. They got the same kind of, body type. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of player that you want to put on somebody like Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? And so now this is what, it's on Steph and collaboration between him and Steve Kerr to come figure out, because that's what teams gonna be doing now. They're gonna say, oh, okay, that's because if Steph don't shoot well, yeah, some of the role players gonna still play good and can still, but Steph is the key. If you can neutralize him, everything else is just gonna be normal, and that just is what it is. So they gotta figure out a way to combat that. You know what I'm saying? You can't just let it happen, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And there's been times in the past where it's happened. Like I said, it's happened less. It's happened less than it has happened. You know what I mean? 3 championships in 5 years and 5 consecutive finals appearances. I mean, you winning more than you losing, brother. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of motherfuckers don't got 1 ring yet, let alone 3. So I still understand where I'm at, but I'm looking for all-time great shit, man. you know, my expectations is high, man, because, you know what I'm saying? Because of who Steph Curry is, and you know, hey, they give you the title as the best shooter of all time, the best shooter in the world. You know what I mean? The best shooter in the history of mankind. I mean, you know, you know, he missing a few more, you know, wide open threes this year than usual. You know what I mean? He's still shooting it, you know, well, but you know, well, like I said, it's still early. But yeah, Steph, you gotta play better, bro. Period, point blank. You gotta play better, my nigga. And we got Indiana next. That ain't gonna be no pushover. Easy little win. You know what I mean? Especially when you're on the road. But a lot of times Steph usually plays a little, you know, he plays better. Not better, but you know, he'll have those games on the road to where he just wowed the crowd and had them chant MVP for him. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for him to do some of that here coming up, you know what I mean, against Indiana on Monday, against the New York Knicks on Tuesday. You know he's going to want to show out in Madison Square Garden. So, you know what I mean? Like I said, ain't nothing I'm worried about or nothing like that. I'm just saying, after a loss, you know what I mean, niggas just, you know, frustrated at the way that, you know, it's like, bruh, you gotta play better, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know, I want to give other teams they little hard time and they little flack, you know what I mean, when they going through they bullshit. So I got to do the same thing for my team. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sitting here, you know, after listening to the game, because I didn't watch it tonight. I was on the road. You know what I mean? I'm glad I didn't watch it. You know what I mean? Because I ain't even trying to sit home and watch that bullshit. But yeah, man. Yeah, they gotta get that in order, man. Steph, you gotta play better, bro. You gotta play better. You gotta shoot better. You know what I'm saying? You got to you gotta, hey, get back to wiggling. Get back to breaking these niggas down. You know what I mean? Steve Kerr, y'all got to get in the lab. Y'all got to figure something out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to figure something out. You know what I mean? Like I said, once the three-point record finally falls and is his and he passes Ray Allen, then, you know, I'm sure that'll be a little weight lifted off his shoulder just to get it, you know, just to get it behind him and get it past him or whatever. But yeah, man, you know what I mean. But yeah, and that's one more thing I wanted to say. Teams are making it a point to be like, you know, he ain't breaking that record on us. So they got to use that to their advantage. You know what I'm saying? It was one part of the game tonight when I was hearing when, you know what I'm saying, you know, it was a play where I guess Andre Iguodala had the ball and Steph doing his thing, doing what he do, wiggling throughout the, you know, moving without the ball, with, you know what I mean, throughout the offense like he usually do. And they so on Steph and enamored with Steph and worried about what you know what I mean, what he doing, that two defenders go with Steph and run directly past Andre Iguodala, who has the ball in his hand. He actually has the ball. Steph's just moving without the ball, but they don't give a fuck about the nigga with the ball. So he just go and just get an easy layup, shit like that. Since y'all know that these teams is kind of going back to like what they was doing last year and triple and quadruple teaming and all that, because they trying to prevent this nigga from breaking a record on them. Y'all gotta more use that too, you know. And I feel like that's kind of what they was doing tonight, trying to do, but you got to be more successful at it. You know what I'm saying? Do, you know what I mean? You know, or do it better, do it more, or something like that. Because, you know what I mean? And then at the same time, on the back end, Steph, you got to come on the back end and there's some threes that, you know what I mean, he didn't hit tonight. They like, Steph for three. Nope. It's like, come on, man. You was 3 for 11 tonight. Like, Or no, they said, no, 3 for 14. You was 3 for 14. So you missed 11. You took 14, made 3, missed 11. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't tell me out of the 14 threes you took that, like, the most of them was contested, maybe like half of them or something, but he made contested threes. But the ones that's wide open, I mean, bro, you got the title as the best shooter in the world, the best shooter of all time. I mean, when you got them open shots, you got to make them, brother. You missing too many of them this year, you know what I mean, for my liking. Straight up, boy. Yeah, get on that shit, because you know me. I don't give a damn who you is. You start fucking up, I'm going to be on your ass, bitch. Best believe that. You feel me? But, yeah. So, come on now. Pick this shit up. It's been going, you know. Shit been going down like this for a few weeks now. I'm expecting for these next, you know, these last few, I mean, you know, the next, you know, for the rest of this road trip, I'm expecting for niggas to, you know, bounce back and do their motherfucking thing. You know what I mean? And start playing better. You know what I mean? Start shooting better. Which is going just, when Steph is going crazy, man, that shit just opened up everything for the whole team. That shit crazy. Like, he's so unique and special, man. Like, this shit crazy. But that's it. You know, I just thought I'd get up on here and balance it out. You know what I mean? And not just talk about other niggas' teams. You know what I mean? When they fucking up, talk about my team too. You know what I'm saying? We started out super hot the first 20 games of the season. You know what I mean? The first 20 games of the season, we started out flaming. Last 5, 6, 7 games, we average right now. But I mean, it's a long season, 82 games. You're gonna have that. So, I mean, but we done what we were supposed to do by starting out and surprising everybody. So, we still playing well. It's just how I see. It's just how the shit go. You know what I mean? You know, you're on the road. It ain't no big deal like that. It's just nigga play better. That's all I'm saying. Play better, shoot better. You know what I mean? So then, you know what I mean? Because then, we, you know, if you playing it well, I mean, I guess I can say it's a good thing too. Because if you playing well, if you playing well and we losing, then we go back to what we was last year. It was just an average team. But yeah, I gotta put this loss on Steph. Straight up. I gotta put this loss on you, brother. You know what I'm saying? You did more bricking and build more houses, you know what I'm saying, than Home Depot, dog. So you need to get back to Chef Curry. Not HD Curry, Home Depot Curry. Building them houses. So that's it. I'm going, man. Snax on Sports. I'll be back at y'all, man. We got we got football tomorrow, Sunday. So, you know, I'll be tapping in tomorrow. We'll see what's going on with these games. You know what I'm talking about? We gonna do it like that, man. To the AM. You feel me?